Welcome once again to another episode of Fix It with Izzy, and today we're working on a stove that the bake is not working like it's supposed to. So we're dealing with a Whirlpool, and we're going to get down to the bottom of it, figure out what's going on. So first thing we need to do is get it slid out, get back into the back, and let's take a look at all the components and see what we got. So as always, what you want to do is you want to make sure you unplug the stove before you even think about getting into this panel back here. Last thing I want y'all doing is getting your hair curlier than what it already is, or, you know, the other part which we don't like talking about. So, you know, what we're going to do now is we're going to pull this cover off by taking out that screw there, that screw there. Shouldn't even be any more screws. We just need this cover off right here, because we're going to have a moment where we're going to be using the meter to figure out what's going on. And I'm also going to give a quick little lesson on what you need to check when you have your meter going. All right, so let's get to it, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so once we got the back cover off right here, what we're going to do is we're going to plug it back in, so that way we can check from here to here to see if we have 120, and we're going to check from here to here to see if we have 120. Then we're going to check these two right here to see if we have 240, and I'm going to show you which settings on the meter to use to make sure that happens. So give me just a moment, we'll get right on. All right, meter time. Here's what we're going to be using. Now, if you look over here, the little emblem that looks like a horseshoe, that's your ohms. That's where we're going to check for continuity when we're dealing with the element, but we're not going to use that just yet. But when we do, we're going to use the one down here with the tone. We're going to come over here to the little V with a squiggly line. Now, what that is, that's your AC voltage, which is going to be your house voltage. Don't set it to this guy right here where you got the two lines where one's solid, one's dotted. That's DC voltage. That's things like batteries and, you know, car stuff and all kinds of stuff. We're not worried about, you know, ignore that one at the moment. The one we're going to be dealing with is down here. Now, we're going to rotate this guy around, and, you know, 200 is not going to be enough, so we're going to set it to 700. We're going to hit the button. We're going to make sure hold is not engaged. That way we get all of our zeros going across the top here. Now, I've plugged it back in. So we're up here now. And what we're going to do is we'll make sure that we do indeed have the correct voltage. Now, a lot of different techs probably tell you, you know, voltage is the first thing you want to check on any of your appliances, as they call it, the first clue of appliances here. Hold on, I'll get this, trying to this where I can actually shoot this and have both hands to do my meter at the same time. Okay, so just like I said, we're going to take this one here, we're going to get on our neutral, and we're going to go over here to line 1, and we're showing 121 volts. We're going to get over here, get on line 2. We're going to show 121 as well. And we'll connect the two together. We got our 245. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to kind of put this in the shot for you. That way you can see everything as it's going on. Same thing, you know, black to white. It's going to give you the 122. White to red. We'll give you the 122. And then red to black. We'll give you that one right there. So that's basically how you're going to use your meter on this bit. Now, at this point, reach over there, unplug it, because we don't need power for this next step. Now, there's a little bit of a debate with some of the technicians out there about giving it such and such a time because the capacitors need to discharge. Your main control board in the stove doesn't hold that kind of power. I wouldn't worry about it. So what we're going to be looking at, this is your bake element right here with these two contacts. So you just want to go ahead, pull one off here. Sometimes they come off easier than said. And the truth is, you only need to disconnect one because you just broke the circuit at that point in time, because we're going to go from here to here, and we're going to check to see if that element is actually in good shape or not. So we're going to go back to the meter. I'm going to rotate the knob over here back to the horseshoe, and my little indicator goes to this guy right here. So let's get you a little bit more light there. And right there where the little speaker icon, or, you know, looks like the little touch thing that you do for tap at the grocery store, That's what you want because you want tone. Now, what I always do before I do anything, I'll put my two leads together to make sure I'm getting zeros in the tone. That's going to tell me that this is ready to check for continuity. Now, see where it says the 1? If we put our leads here and we don't hear any tone and we got the 1 there on the meter, that means we have an open circuit and the element itself is actually shot. If it does like that and then gives us a number other than zeros, then that says that the element is good and we need to look elsewhere. So back over to here. And now that we have it set, we got the audio to let us know. That way we can actually come up, touch the two. And as you can hear, with both of these in place, we're now touching the element. We go back over here, we have the 1, which means we have no continuity inside that element whatsoever. That means the element is bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to look up the part number, see if we have this thing in hand. And then if we do, we're going to go ahead and change it out and all that good stuff. So give me a second and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so now we're at the next stage of getting ready to change the element out. If you ever want to take the door off, rotate that clip up there. Rotate this one here. Watch. The door itself is actually going to come up, hit those little clips, just like that. And you can kind of rotate up, pull out. All you got to do is take that door off. That's going to make getting into the element assembly and changing it out a lot easier. Trust me on this one. You don't want to try it with the door on. Okay, so now we got, I always like to have one shelf up there that we put the light back in place, because if you don't have your power connected, which if you're smart, you've got it disconnected at this point, then you're not going to have to worry about much of anything. Now, you got one screw there. Let's take out. Now, the only reason I'm not using the Makita right here is because I can't be bothered to go over to my bag and grab it out when I got a Phillips in my hand right here. So, just gonna go ahead, get these screws out. And not much to it. Because once these are out of the way, you just take them, set them off to the side. Then you're gonna come in, this, left, go forward a little bit, and then the whole thing will come out. So let me get it out and I'll show you what we got. Okay, so now we're looking at the hidden bake element tray area. You have one screw right there that you're going to take out. You'll have another one right there that you're going to take out. Now we've already checked the ohms, make sure that the element is indeed dead, but here's your visual reference. Right over here in this corner, I'm going to actually focus the light on this, that way you can see it a lot better. And I'm going to show it once I pull the element out. Right down in this corner, it's actually blown out. And when they blow out, they lose their continuity. When they do that, they don't get hot. You don't get your frozen pizza cooked, or the whatever your casserole, you know, whatever dinner's going to be ain't going to happen if you don't have this going on. So I've already got the lines disconnected on the back, because remember we still haven't put our back piece back on yet. So we'll go ahead and get this screw out of the way as well. And just kind of lift up, pull out, and we are. Now, when you look on that corner, you can see where all that's burned up, blown out, and all that other kind of stuff. All right, I'm going to set it off to the side. So I got the new one right up here. And just kind of feed it in. Just kind of feel around. You'll roll in with it. To those that are on headsets, sorry for that loud screeching sound. While we're at it, See if there's any residual pieces of anything we need to get out of the way. And the answer would be no, we're good. Alright, so as per usual, installation is the reverse of removal. And, you know, don't be scared of this kind of a repair. I mean, as long as it's unplugged, you don't have any power going to it, so you don't have to worry about shorting out everything. And as long as you pay attention to what you got going on, you're fine. Now, with this guy down here, what you want to do is, sometimes they don't exactly match up. It's quite normal and okay to give it a little tug on it, to pull it, you know, line it up however you need to. Make sure we got everything in place. Just do it like that. Set that in. Go ahead, screw it down like so. Go back over to here. Give that a little snug up. And with that being said, the actual element itself is now in place. Now, at this point, what I usually do is, before I even put the bottom pan back in place, I want to visually make sure that this thing is indeed coming to life. So I'm going to connect up the element on the back. We're going to plug it in. We're going to give it a little test fire, make sure that it glows and all that good stuff. And we're going to make this a very smooth repair, or at least that's the goal. But hey, you know, these things go like this on a regular basis. So let's move this over here. It's our trailer. Okay, so up and down, up and down, up and down. That's how I am all day. Up, down, up, down, up, down. So come back over here. We make sure that these two get their screws. Give a little before you plug everything back in. All right, so now go back over here. Plug it in. Now, those pieces that I just had my hand on, don't put your hand on them at this point, because now they're live. So, back up again. All right, I'm gonna go over here. And everything's back on. All you have to do at this point, hit your cancel button, go over here, hit bake. Any temperature works. And come back down here. And you can actually just reach up here, hit your door switch with your hand. Because what we're looking for is, at this point, we're looking for glow. And with a new element, we should have it. Turn the light off like this makes it easier to see it when it does happen. And with that being said, I can feel the heat off of it. We don't quite have a glow just yet, but be patient. It's a-coming. So, yeah. So just be sure to check out all the other videos that I got, because I got all kinds of repair videos going on. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and spread the word. And, you know, just let everybody know, hey, this guy actually fixes stuff and kind of knows what he's doing, or at least I hope I do. Been doing it long enough, so should know something. But yeah, it's another one of them long parts of the job where you just sit here and watch it glow. But if you look, you can see we're starting to come to life now. And this is about how long it takes for these elements to come on, which brings me to a point of preheating your oven. Now, typically speaking, what will happen is, with a hidden element, it's got to heat up that entire chamber that bottom piece is sitting on, then that all radiates into the cavity. So, typically speaking, what you'll notice is that the lower element comes on. Every now and again, on some machines, it'll actually fire off the broil element as well to help you pick up the pace on things. But yeah, this element's working. We can put this thing back together. But yeah, here. We'll hit our old cancel button. We'll make our way over this way. So, yeah, I get asked on a regular basis, how long is your typical preheat supposed to take place? Okay, want to disconnect that guy while we're at it too. Oh, come on, out you go. Let's button back up. So, typical preheat, how long does that take? Well, several things taken into account at that point. How old's the machine? How old's the, are the elements, have they ever been changed out? The amount of insulation that you got in there, your house wiring, all that kind of good stuff. When you take into account a general average, around 20 minutes. Some may take a little longer, some may be a little quicker. And I'm sure somebody out there is going to go, it doesn't take no 20 minutes to do a preheat. You should be able to preheat in 10. Hey, some people can, some don't. It just varies on the machine. But the average is about 20 minutes, give or take. Now, if you're one of these people that as soon as the thing goes beep to let you know that it's preheated, and you immediately open up and shove something in there, keep this in mind. Once that sensor detects the temperature, then if you have any kind of a regular dial type thermostat in there to see what the temperature is, you're going to see a temperature difference. Because it may say 400 on the control, may tell you it's at 400, but you might see 375 on your dial to start with. Wait a moment or two, because those dial style thermostats, they're not going to react as quick as the digital. So they take a little bit longer to get up to the average. About another maybe 5 to 10 minutes and temperature will catch up. At that point, after you got a good heat soak inside the walls, then go ahead and put whatever you need to put in there. Because what's going to happen is the very second you open that oven door, you're going to lose somewhere between 30 to 60 degrees of temperature immediately, right off the bat. As soon as you put whatever's in there, if it's frozen, that temperature difference is going to drop down even more, so the oven's going to work twice as hard to get back up to temperature. What I usually tell people is this: start your preheat before you even get your first ingredient out, if it's a fresh recipe, or about 20, 30 minutes before you're ready to actually start cooking whatever it is you're going to cook, if it's frozen. Because that way, you have a chance to preheat, you have a chance to get a good heat soak inside the walls of the oven, so the recovery time is not nearly as quick. Because the general preheat, yeah, you're kind of at temperature, but you really don't see that solid temperature doing what it's supposed to do for about another 5 to 10 minutes. That gives the material enough time to get nice and hot. That way, instead of being a 35, 40 degree difference when you open the door, it's going to be spot on, if not just a touch higher, which is actually a good thing. Then you get all that done up. That's going to help make your recipes a lot easier to handle. And I know some of you are going to say, I've been cooking blah, 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 however many years. I know how to use a damn stove. Okay, fine. You do your thing then. But, for the rest that are actually willing to listen, that's going to be your general guideline on it. Okay, so now I'm going to jump off my preheat soapbox at this point. Let's get this backside back in, because everything else we're going to be able to do from the inside. But I'm not going to slide it back into place and open it up just yet. What I'm going to do like this and let you have a little peek of what I'm doing here, because I need both my hands going for this one. Yeah, we'll do like that. We're just going to double check everything. Yep, we're all good. Like the clips back in place. Move that back up. And let's go ahead. So one screw in there. And come back, put the other screw right there too. So that don't take much. Do like that. And I don't know if I broke the Makita out, I'd already have this thing all put back together. I know this. you know, it is what it is. All right, let's go around front, put the other piece back in place. And at that point, we can call this repair finished. I saw some lightning out there. We've had storms roll in. That's always fun for a good time. There is nothing that says, uh-oh, more than having a storm roll in while you're doing the repairs. Yep, we got some thunderstorms in now. From the first part of the video to this part of the video, we had to wait for the element to come in because I actually did have to order it. So this is like 3 4 days in between. But yeah, we got some nice thunderstorms rolling through. Enough to make you go, but you know, we do what we do. Okay, so now what we're going to do, go back over here, drop our screws back into place, in there, and on there, screw it down, there we go. That one. All right. This whole trying to do it one-handed and stuff, a lot of times does work out. Sometimes it don't. But I still do what I do, and I'm still me, and I'm still chugging. Alright, so now typically this lower one like this usually sits down there like that. That one there, we're going to pull back on, set it about the midway point. Is that where it needs to be at? That's where we're going to stick it. So now you got receiver 1, receiver 2 for the door, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. So I'm going to maneuver it like that to where we can, at least you can see the hinge and how it works. So putting it back in, what you want to do is you want to line it up, get them both in like that, and okay, get our door seal here, get that back in place. Switch is kind of going a little bit. Let's sit down, and I'll pull it down like this. So these same pieces that we rotated out, we're going to rotate back in, then check your alignment. Everything should be aligned at that point. So what we do now, come around here, we're going to plug it in. Oh, just like that. Just back into place. Alrighty. That's back in. Take this, come over around a little bit. Then push, slide in. Now it's not 137, it's 157. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit clock, and then 57, start. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let this thing go up to about, I'm going to set it about 400, let it go, do its thing. And we already saw earlier that the element is working like it's supposed to. So we don't have to worry about that. This is just making sure that everything gets up and preheats and all that good stuff. So with that being said, we're going to call this repair done. And, you know, just like with all of them, just take your time And you know, you can pause the video at any point in time if you're in the middle of this and you're using it as a step-by-step. So don't be afraid to do that. And anyhow, with all that, this is going to wrap up this video on the stove here. Hope that it's been informative. And if you like, you know, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And it helps out the channel. Hit that bell icon because, you know, YouTube is a finicky creature, so we like to do what we can to make the algorithms happy. So please help me out on that one. Like, share, all that good stuff. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in with Fix It with Izzy, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.